Hi everybody, Dugraz here with Dugraz Reports. I ran across something yesterday that made me think IHG Hotels may be the best hotel chain for the intermittent traveler. And when I say intermittent traveler, what I mean is, frankly, someone like myself. I have a family, I have a job that I have to work, I can't just travel anytime I want. So traveling and staying in hotels is probably about 1 or 2 weeks per year. I hear podcasts and things about people talking about the best hotel for status and all this. And then you ask them, you're like, oh, I've spent 40 nights in a Hilton. I've spent 60 nights in a Marriott. That's not that realistic for most Americans. So we're talking about the average suburban dad or average suburban mom who goes on vacation a couple times a year, the great American road trip. Now, IHG Hotels, you would mostly think of Holiday Inn, Holiday Inn Express, but there's also Staybridge Suites, Candlewood Suites, Crown Plaza, Kimpton, Intercontinental, and a couple others involved in IHG. I am going to be going to Galesburg, Illinois, or at least that's the plan. That could change later this year. And you can see in the map there, Galesburg is kind of a small town, doesn't have very many hotels, maybe only 6 or 7. And the one I want to stay in is a Holiday Inn, which of course is an IHG hotel. So that's my target that I'm going to be going for. And in this video, I'm going to be going over a trick or a method for getting IHG hotels at a discount. And this isn't something that's dependent on any particular credit card. So no, I'm not going to tell you just go get the Chase IHG credit card. You can use any credit card. In theory, you could even use a debit card with this method. So the room itself on the nights that I'm planning to stay costs $160 per night if you go through Priceline or Expedia. If you become a member of IHG, it's $151.95 per night. Now, this is the room rate that allows you to cancel if something comes up. So how are we going to pay for this room? On the IHG website, it gives you options. So if you have points, you can buy it for just 20,000 points. Of course, on the previous screen, we saw that it was about $152 per night. And then there's 2 more options for paying with Points+Cash. Points+Cash. There's a 15,000 point option and a 10,000 point option. So let's look at the second bullet point in the top left-hand corner. It says, Points+Cash bookings are charged immediately in US dollars and cancellations are refunded in points only. So in other words, if you book the third option here, 10,000 points plus 72 US dollars, and then you later cancel, they're not going to give you the $72 back. They're just going to give you the full point equivalent, in this case, 20,000 points. So you started with 10,000 points, you end with 20,000 on a net basis. Here, you're buying 10,000 points net for less than a penny each. You're buying it for 0.72 cents each. Now, I thought to myself, what if there's a way to buy points more cheaply than that within the IHG system and then use those points elsewhere? Because surely they don't charge the same rate on every single motel. And you know what? They don't. Yesterday, I stumbled across a website. I've listed the URL here. It's called Thrifty Points. And this particular post was about getting Holiday Inns and IHG hotels in Great Britain. But I thought to myself, maybe you can do the same thing in the United States. So I give props to Thrifty Points. This is my official credit to them because they inspired this video. But I went ahead and researched it out on my own. Let's see what I found out. So are there other places with better cents per point? Here I found one. This is the Candlewood Suites in the Minneapolis airport area. And in this particular case, again, if you look at the third option in the top right-hand corner, 5,000 points plus 60 US dollars. If you spend 5,000 points and $60 and then cancel, you will get 15,000 points on your original 5,000 plus 10,000 more. So that's a net gain of 10,000 points. And this one is better. This is at 0.6 of a point each. And then I wondered, could I get even better than that? And I did find one better than that. This is the Intercontinental Hotel, Minneapolis St. Paul Airport. And if you, again, look at the chart in the top right-hand corner, the points-only option is 35,000. go to the very last option, 15,000 points plus 115 US dollars. And then the top left, we see the exact same disclaimer. If you cancel, they don't give you your money back. And in this case, that actually is to our advantage. So here you would spend 15,000 points plus $115, cancel the room, and get 35,000 points. That's a net gain of 20,000 points. So they give you back your original 15,000 plus 20,000 more. And this comes to 0.575 cents per point, or $0.00575 per point. And I did look at lots of different hotels. I found some that tied this, a large handful, I wouldn't say a majority, but quite a few that tied this. But this was the best I found. Half a cent per point plus 75% of another cent, or 0.575. Yeah, just look at the screen. You'll know what I mean there. So what if I try to use those better point rates on other hotels and then spend it on the one I actually want to go to? So in other words, I'm going to buy points using the ones I spotted in Minneapolis to go to Galesburg, Illinois. Well, let's buy some points. Now, the first thing you have to do is buy enough points to kind of get into the system. Maybe you already have some IHG points from a previous stay. Maybe you got their credit card, in which case you can skip this step. But again, the purpose of this video is saying you can do this with any credit card, hypothetically even a debit card. You don't have to have pre-existing loyalty to IHG. So all you need to do is set up a member account with IHG, which is totally free. I just did that earlier today. And start by buying 5,000 points, because all Points+Cash bookings are at least 5,000 points. That will cost you $67.50. Now, if this was all you were doing by yourself, that's a horrible redemption, because you're spending 1.35 cents per point for something that has a value of, at best, around 0.7 of a cent per point. By the way, when you make this purchase, you're not actually buying it from IHG directly. It's from an affiliate website. It might be Points.com or someone else. But anyway, I saw several data points online. This doesn't code as travel. So if you think you're going to get 3x on your Chase Sapphire Reserve, whatever your favorite credit card is, you won't. So get out your Citi Double Cash or your Amex Blue Business credit card, whatever your favorite general spending credit card is. So you've bought the first 5,000 points. Now, ignore the top line here. That's a repeat. But you have to use 5,000 points. Go back to those Candlewood Suites that we saw earlier. And this is the first step. We're going to take a couple different steps here. Use those $5,000 and then spend $60. Now, this one put on a travel credit card, because this purchase from now on is directly with IHG. So this will code as travel. Disclaimer, that's my assumption. That's what a lot of people in comment sections said on posts and such. I can't guarantee that. What I would do is wait until that charge hits your credit card as a firm charge 2 or 3 days later, and then cancel. Then, since you canceled, IHG is not going to give you your $60 back. They're going to put 15,000 points into your bank. Now you started with 5,000, now you have 15,000, so that's a net gain of 10,000. And that's at 0.6 of a cent per point. So the first step is you're going to want to do that twice, and now we have 25,000 points. Then you're going to go to that Intercontinental, now that you've got enough points to kind of play with the big boys, plus doing it twice with that stay bridge just worked out better math-wise. You're going to go here and book this motel on the IHG Rewards website. Make sure you're signed into your Rewards member account. You're going to use 15,000 points plus $115 to book it. You're going to wait a couple days. You're going to cancel. They're going to give you 35 points. And this is at 0.575 cents per point. So you had 25,000 coming into this. You spent 15,000. You added 35,000. So a net gain of 20,000 points. You have now spent 45,000 points total. And now you're ready to do the thing we want to do. So thus far, I have 45,000 points, and here's how much I've spent. As a review, I've spent $67.50 on the original 5,000 point purchase to buy into the system. I've spent 60,000 60 points at Staybridge Suites and Canceled. And I did that twice. And then I spent $115 at the Intercontinental and Canceled. So my total purchases come out to $302.50, and I have 45,000 points. You may remember my target Holiday Inn in Galesburg, Illinois was 20,000 points per night. So I now have enough for 2 nights with $5,000 left over to keep the system going for future purchases. So I just said that, yes. And I also mentioned, and no tax probably. Now, disclaimer here, I've stayed at Hyatts in 2 different states, Illinois and Arizona, on all point stays, and I never had to pay any tax. And reading other posts and little tidbits I found online, if you use an all points booking in the United States, it appears with IHG you never have to pay tax, because if you had done Points+Cash, on the cash part, they would charge you up front only for the fee, and then when you arrive at the motel, they charge you for the local taxes. So my understanding is the benefit we're seeing here is not even including the benefit of not having to pay tax. So I put a little chart in the bottom left-hand corner. 2 nights, the cash price would be $303.90. Using the method we've described, it's $302.50. So we've saved $1.40. But remember, that first purchase to buy the initial 5,000 points was at a terrible value. It was over 1 cent per point. So once we get past that first buy-in hurdle, the value gets better and better. So after 2 nights, you would save $38.35 over the cash price, so on and so forth, all the way down to 7 nights, you would save $186.15 over the cash price. And I'll pause for just a moment and mention, as the intermittent traveler, the typical suburban dad traveler, I have grown to kind of like the motel that's in sort of the $100 to $125 range. It's cheap enough that it's not breaking the bank. I don't care too much about status and luxury. I just want a clean, quiet, comfortable motel. And that $100 a night price point seems to be high enough to kind of keep out the riffraff. So usually have a quieter stay. So that's kind of my target when traveling. That's why I'm thinking this method and IHG Hotels would be great for the itinerant or intermittent traveler couple weeks a year. But if you're wondering, what else can you get for 20,000 points per night? So I just did some looking around to see what's out there. There's probably some that are a better value than my $152 a night. Here's one, the Crown Plaza, Minneapolis West, is 20,000 points or $172 per night. Well, that's a pretty good value. As of May 2020, that would get you an executive 2 queen. Here's one, the Holiday Inn Denver East Stapleton, looks pretty nice. And this was the week of Christmas 2020 that I looked at. It's normally $148 per night, 20,000 points here. This would get you a standard room. But hey, you're getting in the week of Christmas. The Holiday Inn Express, Castro Valley, California, would be 20,000 points or $175 per night. And that was during November of 2020. That would get you a 2 queen room. And then the Holiday Inn Express in Ogallala, Nebraska. And I know that's not exactly a destination, but let's face it, if you're traveling with a family, if you're taking a road trip, sometimes you just need to stop in the middle of Nebraska on I-80 and get a halfway decent motel. So this, yes, would be 20,000 points, $148 a night. I checked August 2020, 2 queen room, and it says this is a brand new motel. So I think that picture is actually kind of a fakety fake picture, but sure looks nice. So are there any risks to doing it this way? I thought of a few things. I thought maybe IHG is going to get upset with you doing this and shut down your reward points or kick you out of their program because you're not paying the full price. You're getting a pretty big bargain by kind of gaming the system. But the other part of me thought, you know what? I don't have any problem doing this. I don't think there's a moral quandary or anything because they're still getting paid. It's the same reason why companies sell gift cards. Would you rather have 80,000 or let's say, would you rather have $80 for sure now or maybe $100 in the future? Because once you buy into the system, you're not getting your money back. You can only get credit for rooms that they have anyway. So really, in some ways, I think IHG would even be okay with this, although they don't advertise it clearly, because they're still getting paid and they're getting all their money up front before you even stay. I also thought to myself, point devaluation is a risk. So let's say in the course of booking, canceling, and by the time you're ready to make the purchase you actually intend to make, they raise the points by $5,000, and then your points have effectively been devalued. So that could happen. There's also the losing availability. By the time I risk the Staybridge Suites, cancel twice, book the IHG, cancel, maybe 3 or 4 days, that Holiday Inn in Galesburg, Illinois that I really wanted to book might be completely sold out. Now, the method I described in this video would work with any credit card. But I will admit, I'm going to do just a little bit of bait and switch on you here. The method becomes way better if you have the IHG Rewards Club Premier Credit Card. This is issued by Chase, and yes, the 524 rule applies, so you may not be able to get it. But let's just jump beyond that hurdle. There is a sign-up bonus if you spend $3,000 in the first 3 months. It's enough for 140,000 points, and that would get me 7 nights in Galesburg, Illinois at the Holiday Inn. Now, maybe not quite as luxurious as 4 nights at the Holiday Inn Resort Karabi Ao Nang Beach listed in the advertisement, but hey, we're being practical. That would be a free week of hotel stays, or just for the $89 annual fee. So look at the top left corner here, going beyond the sign-up bonus. We won't focus on that from now on. Just how does earning on that IHG credit card work? You earn 10 points for having the credit card for every dollar spent at IHG, another 10 for being a Rewards Club member, which you already are, and an extra 5 points for Platinum Elite status, which you get automatically with this card. So every time you spend $1 at an IHG property, Holiday Inn or otherwise, you get 25 times the number of points on IHG hotels and resorts. So in my example, to make my initial purchase, the 2 nights, $235 of my spending was on IHG purchases. That excluded the initial $67.50 to buy into the system. So that's 5,875 more points. That's pretty good. Here's the other benefits that come with the card, not necessarily exhaustive, but the ancillary benefits that would apply. In the bottom right-hand corner, you'll see you save 20% on points purchases. That would help with that initial points buy-in to take the edge off a little. Top right, an anniversary night. So once a year, you get a free motel stay just for having the card. Again, $89 annual fee. And then on the left, you'll see 4th night free, or 4th reward night free when you redeem points for any stay of 4 nights or more. Hey, guess what? Using the method in this video, you're redeeming points for stays. So that 4th night would in fact apply. So let's go over an example here. Multiple night savings with this method and the IHG Premier credit card, which has an $89 annual fee. So you'll see in the first 2 nights, I lumped them together. That includes 20% off the initial points purchase. Go down to the 4th night, and you'll notice the price does not go up in the middle column called the method, because there's the 4th night free. So by the end of your first 4 nights, using the method and the IHG credit card together, you've already saved $203. And then 5th, 6th night, 7th night, pretty normal. 8th night is another 4th night free. So now we're saving $466. 9th, 10th night, pretty normal. By the time you get to the 11th night, you've spent enough on IHG purchases that you've racked up 20,000 points naturally, just with that 25x modifier. So now your 11th night is free. By the time you get to 12, you get the 4th night free again. And then I thought, let's just add 1 more free anniversary night that you get annually, and the price doesn't go up at all. So if you look at the first column, it's cash price. For 13 nights, it would be the figure there, $1,975. Using the method and this credit card together, $979 for a savings of $996.35. You've actually saved more money than you've spent. You've effectively got a 50% discount on 13 nights. And it doesn't have to be 13 consecutive nights, as long as you book them in increments of 4 nights to get that 4th night free benefit. Last line shows the average cost per night. Cash price This is based on my Galesburg motel. It would vary, obviously, depending which one you pick. $151.95 on average, because that's just what it is per night. Using the method, $75 per night. You're saving $76 per night. So this is why I think that IHG is the best hotel if you really buy into being loyal to them for the intermittent traveler who travels a couple weeks per year. You're just reaping tremendous value. You're basically getting 50% off your stays if you get a high enough quantity to take advantage of some of those ancillary benefits by using the method in conjunction with their credit card. So if you think this type of video is helpful, a video for the average family traveler, please subscribe to the channel and please smash that thumbs up button. It really does help the YouTube algorithm to recommend this video and for more to get out like it. But possibly even more importantly, I would love to hear your comments. What do you think? Are there flaws in my method? Have you tried this method? Have you ever used Points+Cash at an IHG hotel and then canceled it? Do you have experience with the IHG Rewards Club Premier credit card? Is this a credit card you're planning on getting now that you've seen this video? Any type of comment would be really helpful, and I will try my best to personally respond. So thanks for watching, and stay tuned.